Hello and welcome. This is Monday Night Sports. Of course, you're the lucky one because this is the first episode and I have got things in line just for you. So don't go anywhere because it matters getting sporty over here, and I've got lots of stuff today, including this book over here, because this book, I'm not saying that I'm the author or rather that I'm in love with books, but this book has been written by one referee who I'll be telling you more about in this particular show, where tonight here, and of course I'll be telling you more in regards to Christian Eriksen because he makes his entry back into the soccer arena. Of course, there is more in line to that, and we'll be having an in-depth analysis in regards to sports this particular week and last week. Of course, not forgetting the weekend, because we also and we heard about the FIFA ban. So we'll be knowing what happens next for the Kenyan football scene. Are you a fan and you need to know more about the Kenyan football scene? So don't go anywhere. But of course, before we get matters starting, just to remind you that Angela Okutoyi, of course the 17-year-old lady who happened to be the first one ever, get my words clearly, the first lady in Kenya to play a Grand Slam match and of course win it. So we just got in touch with her, and this is what she said as she is preparing to just go for her 5th tournament in North Africa. Of course, she'll be touring Morocco, Tunisia later on because she's trying to get her to earn herself a ticket to the annual Grand Slam that it happens to be her maiden one in USA, and of course the French Open. Let's just get to hear what she said in regards to that.
My name is Angela Okutoyi, and right now I'm in Cairo, Sharm el-Sheikh, and my preparation for the tournament is pretty good. Feel like I'm ready. I just came from the morning practice, and I would say these tournaments, yes, they are for my preparation for the Grand Slams also. Just trying to earn some points here in the futures, and also when I'm gonna play the juniors as well. And my goals for myself is to collect as much points as I can in this tournament here in the futures, and hopefully reach as far as I can. Thank you.
Those are just wonderful words by Angela Okutoyi. Of course, remember that she's the first to play and win a Grand Slam match in Kenya at only 17 years old. What were you doing at 17 years old with your age? You don't have to answer it to me. Of course, this is just Matters Sports. We say sports is nothing but entertainment just for you. So don't go anywhere. Angela, she just received her donation of kits, and of course, what was it? It was kits from the National Olympics Committee. That was Humphrey Kayange handing her over. And something that I must just say for a fact is that I was impressed. She's very tall, because looking at that picture with of course, Humphrey Kayange, you could just tell the difference that this lady is actually tall. And just some good news, because Makray Kimathi, over to some rally news. Have been the first Swedish, they have been the first team, to win the Swedish rally, because the Sweden rally, the first team in Africa. So it's a kudos to them, because no particular team has ever done that particular milestone. So they were the first ones to win, to complete, not exactly to win, to complete. You know, in rally, it's another thing winning and it's also another thing completing. But of course, all rally drivers like finishing that particular course. It's not easy. I remember I got a chance to cover it when it was here at Naivasha, and one thing about these drivers, they were just happy about completing. So just see the scenes of what went down in Sweden.
That's been the coolest persons in the whole world, Andre, huh?
Yeah, the thing is quite slow, and good for them. And thank you, Sweden, thank you, the people. I really appreciate it, and hope to see you back next year. I promise I can come back next year.
Ja, tar til meg greie, altså da ser hun for safari-rally, mine damer og herrer. Og her står med sin sønn sammen med mamma, ganske langt unna hjemme, i UVO. Og vi skal ut og se mer til liv med oss i safari-rally.
Now matters rugby. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for rugby, because the weekend was packed with rugby action, packed rugby, KCB versus Cabras. And of course, a lot of you guys, I thought that Cabras was actually going to get away with this one, because Cabras have been losing it time and again. But I was there just to witness this particular match. And later on, we'll be joined by a certain official who was part of that particular match. Only happening here, Monday Night Sports. Nowhere else you'll get this kind of content. And Cabras, just a message to Cabras, because this is just my opinion, because I think that Cabras actually crack under pressure. I don't think if there is any other rugby team here in Kenya that have actually given Cabras a run for their money. So it makes it difficult when they meet KCB, because we saw the kind of mistakes they made in this particular match. When Cabras is leading, or Cabras wants to get that niche in terms of leading, they crack easily. And KCB, of course, the rugby fraternity say wazee watashinda all day. Experience beats talent. Not my words, but we just saw it over there into the field arena. Those are just but the pictures of what went down. And now introducing another interesting forum. It's the fun experience, because I know most of you watched the game and you saw what went on, and you also saw the scores in that particular encounter. But what you guys did not know is what happens at the terraces. I got a chance to be part of this particular match. And one thing about a rugby match, we say sherehe, sheshe, because it happens day in, day out. People are just there just to get enticed and just to get lit by the kind of environment that is there. I witnessed the Isukuti. I was also part of it. Amazing. You can't let those Isukuti bells just ring without you being part of that crew. Amazing scenes. Just see what went down over there. You know, there's something about these particular bells, you can't just miss it, even if you're in that particular game and your team lost. Because in this encounter, I was supporting Cabras, but we lost. Imagine, I'm the one dancing over there. You could have even imagined that what happened if maybe we could have won that particular encounter, a big one over there. And still on matters weekend, because Homeboys escaped over there narrowly. Homeboys were actually relegation threatened side, and they escaped against Nondis, because Nondis clear, they're just going on relegation. And this is what it feels like, escaping relegation in the dying moments of the league. Just get to see what Homeboys players had in mind. Now that is what it feels being a part of a rugby match any weekend. Now there's still rugby, because we are entering into the playoffs, and of course I think next weekend Strathmore Leos will be traveling all the way to Kakamega just to get a one-on-one with Cabras. Now we don't know what will happen over there, because it's going to be also a big match. Not Strathmore Leos, that is the Oilers, I think. But I'll be giving you an in-depth analysis in regards to that. And of course, the teams that are in the relegation zone, it's Nondis, and the matter is still to be confirmed to us. So I'm on the safe side saying that Nondis will be relegated, and it's a matter of time, because Homeboys and Impala are fighting over something. So it's a kind of a tough situation, but at the same time, for us rugby lovers, we say the rich kids don't want to remain in this particular league. I'm not saying that Harlequins will actually go down, or rather Impala will go down, but it's still to be sorted. But as for now, Nondis will be playing the championship next season. Now, still on matters rugby, there's this particular guy For those of you who actually watched the Rugby World Cup 2019, when South African Springboks actually took that particular cup, I was amazed. I support the winning team always because I was Team South Africa. We all witnessed Lukonye over there being a very brilliant merger with, of course, Makazole Mapimpi over there at the wing at 11 and 13. And, of course, 12. I might as well be safe to say that he's the best center currently, according to me. So those are my own statistics. So Lukonye decided to go to the barber, saying, I'm going to the barber. Did you see what I did over there? Okay, for those of you who are not bright, I'll be helping you by the aid of the tags over there. Lukonye got a new hairstyle. And one thing about that hairstyle, he actually seems to be like a white person. Sijui kwa nini, sijui imebadilisha pia rangi. Because Lukonye was more of African, but when Aromat was just added to him, he became a white person. So I don't know whether it affects his performance because they've just played one game with that new hairstyle. And most of his players were also like commenting in regards to that particular hairstyle. We also saw Ibn Edzebet also saying that he should get that particular look. We also saw Mtawarira, the beast himself, also people telling him that you should get that new hair look. So it's a matter of time. Maybe he'll try and get the other guys to get into that particular look. But of course not Makazole Mapimpi, because Makazole Mapimpi gets a clean shave over there. Now that is Matters Rugby. We are taking a short commercial break, and when we'll be back, I'll be getting you inside this particular interview with one man himself, the author of this particular book. So if you're a book lover, don't go anywhere because I'm here right here specifically for you. This is Monday Night Sports. We get you covered in and out Matters Sports in the globe. It's not an easy deal, of course. I feel like it's just the second half of an intense rugby encounter, of course, not forgetting football. And of course, the biggest game ever, basketball, because you can't play basketball if you're an unfit lad. Mark my words. Utatema figo pale kwa hiyo court. So right about now, as you can see, I'm actually even sweating enough, and I've not told you guys that, remember, you can subscribe on our YouTube page and like us across all social media platforms. I mean all social media platforms at Switch TV KE. And also leave down a comment. Tell us you love the good job that we are doing. And of course, you can also tell us the negative side of it all. I don't expect all of you to be on the positive side, but I know that 80% is on the positive side, because sports is all about entertainment, and I'm just here to get you glued and entertained in regards to that. Now, I told you and I promised you that the house is going down tonight because we have one gentleman by the name Lawrence ISHUGA. Lawrence, you need no introduction because I know all rugby lovers actually know your face or maybe know your voice for the players. But of course, I just take it away. The floor is yours.
Probably to start introducing myself, Lawrence ISHUGA, a rugby referee and still a student at Kenyatta University. Yep.
And now, because we are talking about age being a factor, and we know that rugby is associated with big-bodied fellas, and you get the chance to control them with the whistle. How is that experience?
I tell you, rugby is one unique sport where respect to match officials, it's something quite unique. So any call you make there as a referee, whether they are 6 foot guys, they have to respect your decisions. Yep.
And now, because I was just looking at your photos some time back, and I realized that you took one particular photo with Rassie Erasmus. We all know him being a very good, not Rassie Erasmus,
it's Rasta
Wenger. Yeah, we all know him being a very incredible referee. So how is the experience maybe being in a position to benchmark with such big individuals?
Rasta is quite one person who's friendly to African referees and also to Kenyan referees. We get to chat with him a number of times, and also help to ship my book to him in a couple of days.
Okay, in a couple of days. I know you've been in and out most of the interviews, but I'm sure here at Monday Night Sports, because it's at night, I'm not going to eat most of your time. I'm just going to go straight to this particular book. What inspired you to writing this book? Because I even see it's related to what you're doing, the whistle, redefining a Kenyan referee. Are you trying to like give a pointer to Kenyan referees what they should do, or rather, what do you think the refereeing world should be?
Exactly as you've put it. So my book, Redefining a Kenyan Referee, tries to give match officials, and it's across all sports, a different outlook. So I've managed to compose a couple of chapters in there that's basically looking how we can enhance officiating in Kenya. Yep.
And now, just explain to us the authoring process, because you know, I've always seen a book, but I've never known what's the process of maybe going through when writing a book. Do you like sit with the person who is typing? You tell the person that, you know what, I'm a sports person and I need to write this particular book, so just write about my life in that book, then write about this specific thing. So just explain in a nutshell the kind of writing process, and also put the sports in it.
So of course this book took me 1.5 years to get it published. I managed to do a couple of the works in there, from the graphic design to the typing and a little bit of editing, and then I have to take it to a printer or printing house, where now they get you the full cover of the book. Yep.
And now, maybe just to get this clear, how many referees have actually authored specific books?
In Kenya, I think mine is going to be the first one. Haven't seen anyone. Much of about officiating that I've come across is a master's thesis by a certain rugby referee called John Bosco Mwamba. I think that's much I've seen in terms of sports officiating.
And now, allow me just to leave alone the book a little bit, because you're talking about sports, you're talking about refereeing, because it has brought out the passion of you being passionate about writing or about refereeing, to a point that you wrote this specific book. What inspired you to refereeing? Because I understand you were a player at some point.
Yeah, so myself being a referee, I can say it happened by a lack of chance. So I was given an opportunity to referee Great Reef 10 aside by my coach then, Felix Ulo, who's currently the
Nakuru.
Yeah, Nakuru head coach. And from there, I took love for the whistle, and I've never looked back since then.
So it was that simple.
Yeah, mine was that simple. It's not that I had any injury or any other thing. I was quite fit to play, but I opted to go into the officiating sphere.
Okay, now what are the kind of opportunities that you've come across in regards to refereeing, and also maybe writing this particular book?
I guess it enhances your network. That's what I'll say. You get to meet a couple of guys who, through here and there, myself, I'm doing a B.Ed in physical education, so I get to meet sports scholars. I get to meet guys in unions and federations across all sports in Kenya. Basically, I'll say it widens your network.
It widens your network.
Exactly.
And I know I will not leave you without you telling me this particular one, because as a matter of fact, he was also part of the refereeing crew that officiated the game between Cabras and KCB. That is a very big game. Very big game. And seeing a referee being given that particular opportunity, it means that you are a big deal. So what was the experience this weekend? Because you were dining with the big boys.
Exactly. So this was my first experience, I'll say, getting such a big match. I can put it that way, because in the last 2-3 years, it's been same teams, Cabras, KCB, heading into the finals. I thoroughly enjoyed being part of the officiating team, and I hope for more future opportunities like that. Yeah.
And now, because you are viewing that game as a referee, you know, I don't want to say that referee and fans, you are like on the same rail, because we both view the game. What can you say about Kabras? Because Kabras has been losing in time and again against KCB. It may as well bring also a confident factor for Curtis Olago, who is actually the head coach KCB, because I understand that he does not fear Kabras, and all the other Kenya Cup teams fear Kabras.
I'll say maybe they just need to go back to the drawing board and see the mistakes they did and try correct them, and now try to optimize their strengths before they play semi-final. If they're lucky enough, they proceed to the final. They meet either KCB or Oilers and see how things will pan out.
Exactly. Now, final remarks, because this is your book now. I would appreciate if you just hold it.
Fine,
and you are going to launch that particular book.
Yeah. So
when is that?
Yeah.
And tell us the details. Also tell us the pricing, and just tell us where we can find the book.
Yeah. So the launch of my book, The Whistle Redefining a Kenyan Referee, will be happening this Saturday at Alliance Francais from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Everyone is welcomed. The book will be retailing at 500 shillings at the launch.
Can you just add a tag over there? 500 shillings only.
Yeah.
Only is the key word over there.
Exactly. So, but if you wish to order it online, you can go on rafubooks.com. It's there. Or alternatively, you can visit Nuria Bookstore. It's also there. Yeah.
Now, thank you very much, Lawrence. Of course, I'll be purchasing that particular book, one of it, and I don't know whether I should give to a viewer, because just let me know over there, comment section. Remember, you can get us via our YouTube channel, Switch TV KE, social media, Instagram, Facebook, across all social media handles, not forgetting Twitter. Tell me why you think you deserve this particular book. I'll be getting one, and of course getting one for you, our beloved fan over there. And remember, he told us that everyone is invited over there, not only rugby players. He said everyone. So everyone, you get to know how refereeing feels about through reading. They say that if you want to hide something from Africans, hide it in a book. So prove that situation wrong. Prove that norm wrong. Get that particular book from Lawrence. Lawrence, it's been a pleasure having you, bro.
Many thanks for having me.
Do you have a whistle? Because you can blow it all the way as you go.
I have it here.
You have it here. Okay, good one. Good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you over there, Lawrence. The big fella over there. That's a magnificent piece of art from referees in Kenya. I think all referees, including now, it's a challenge to the football referees. You guys need to write a book. Now, I think because rugby has just set the pace, you guys need to write an encyclopedia. I think you remember the encyclopedia, the ones that we used to use back there in high school. But of course, let's just take that short breather. And when we'll be back, we'll be analyzing matters FKF, and also we'll be analyzing matters to do with the Carling Cup, because we saw the Carling Cup, Liverpool and Chelsea. That was a big game. So we'll be getting an in-depth analysis in regards to that. Don't go anywhere. Now we are back seated, but of course not beaten, and we are seated on a sad note. I was tired as we started on. We said that tonight's going to be a lengthy night, full of sporting action. It was not easy handling some rugby guys at the start of the show. Now we're back to matters football. I'm not saying that football deserves a sit down, but of course, you also the struggle. It was not easy climbing that particular mountain. And now, just 4 days ago, because I mentioned that I am sad as a football fan, and of course a person who follows football closely and also covers football, we just woke up to some news that Kenya has actually been banned by FIFA. We'll be telling you more in regards to that, because I have Michael Indeko on set just to talk in depth about matters the FIFA ban. And the pictures that you're just seeing on your screen are just to remind you of what went down in regards to this particular journey. We saw Nick Mwendwa being arraigned to court, reinstated again. We saw him back and forth over there. We saw the composition of the FKF committee, caretaker committee. We also saw Linda Ogutu moving from where you know best over to the FKF caretaker committee. We also saw the likes of Nadia Tieno moving from where you know best to the FKF caretaker committee. Bobby Ogola, not mentioning other guys over there in that particular committee. And now, what does it mean for football? Indeku, just introduce yourself as you just tag along that particular question.
Yeah, so Michael Indeku, I'm a presenter at Radio Jambo, and I'm also a sports enthusiast. We also do a sports show every weekend.
Sporting a reggae.
Sporting a reggae.
Sporting a reggae is the big deal. Remember, you can catch him over his particular platform.
Yeah, so you talk about the Kenya being disbanded.
Okay, what does it mean for us? What does it mean for football fans? What does it mean for football clubs? The likes of Gor Mahia, FC Leopards, we're also seeing a very sharp and consistent City Stars. What does it mean for them?
Now, basically, Cedric, what it means is, as a nation, one, we cannot participate in international tournaments. That is CAF. We can't qualify for Africa Cup of Nations. We can't compete to qualify for the World Cup. Has affected the ladies, number one. I'm going to get into that later. But also what it means is for club football, whatever goes on from now henceforth until we are reinstated, is not recognized by CAF or FIFA, because CAF is under FIFA. So it means even if, let's say, Kakamega Homeboys' hometown team are leading the log, I'm very happy about that. But even if they finish top, how do you know if they're going to play in the CAF Champions League?
It's not going to impact anything.
Yeah, because now FIFA is saying unless they're reinstated or unless we follow their Sharia, we are not going to participate in any international
So what you're saying, in some way, it means that we are just like, let me take you back to Western. We are just like a Lifundo team over there. We're just playing for, we're just playing for the top prize. You know, there's something about the Lifundo. Is that it starts whenever you guys want it to start.
Exactly.
You will come with the ball, you start playing, then other guys will come in, they tag along, we become a team. Then now it only completes when the owner of the ball, you decide to go with it.
When once we leave with the ball, it's now game over.
So it's the situation of our football in this country.
Yeah, it's a situation, it's sad. And I think what's most sad is the players are the ones who are affected most, The ladies who are performing well, and I believe if there was a team from Kenya that had a chance to play in the World Cup, is that ladies team. You saw the Viga Queens, you saw how well they performed. Again, that's another hometown team. I'm so happy. I mean,
I don't know what people.
There's something good about
because there's something from the Western guys. You guys keep on doing what you're doing.
Keep doing what you're doing, So I mean, those girls had a chance to go and participate, and I believe with the right backing, they would have qualified for the World Cup because they've been superstars. They have performed well. They went to the CAF Champions League. It was their first experience. I was very proud of them, and I feel so bad because how do we know even after we are reinstated, are they going to be in form? Are they going to be injured? I mean, how are referees and coaches going to make their living? So that's a big thing. Exposure is a very important thing for players. These players have aspirations to go abroad. These players have aspirations to make it big. Just like you're making it big here on Switch TV. You want to go and make it big somewhere.
Thank you. But no one is issuing me a ban.
No ban. No ban for you.
No ban for me.
Yeah.
But we are now looking at the football situation now. It's a gone case. Now there is also a different alternative. I'm not exactly sure. That's why I'm asking you. We're also looking at the condition that FIFA gave us. It's indefinite. Does it mean when we return the particular FKF board that they're going to give us back our football freedom?
Yes, according to what Gianni Infantino, the FIFA president, he said because of the interference of the government from Kenya and Zimbabwe were both banned. So until we reinstate the people that were there.
So in short, until we return Mwendwa.
Exactly. Now you see, that's a problem now. You know, we're between a rock and a hard place. Yeah, for sure. Because now, with allegations of corruption, and I do understand where the government is coming from, but then the people who are really suffering from all this are the players. So I don't know, maybe if the government, they have, because I had Amina sent a letter back to FIFA, yeah?
Yeah, I also saw it.
Yeah.
And it's something funny, I didn't even understand the letter. Too much English.
Too much English, complicated.
I think what we reserve at this particular point
Yeah.
is you telling us that we are going to reinstate, or rather, we are going back to play. That's what people want to hear.
Yeah, because also, I mean, the government has put in the CAF that we went to, the African Cup of Nations 2019. The government spent approximately 219 million shillings. That's a lot of money and cash to just go like that, and it's not accounted for. It has to be accounted for. There has to be transparency in our round. These are the issues that plague our football, the organization, the top leadership. Because if we can sort that thing out, why can't we fail to make the African Cup of Nations every single... I mean, the Ethiopians, Jara, Stafara, and everyone there, they made the African... Surely, why can't we make
Why can't we make a... I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And now, just to remove us from Kenya, now take us all the way to Europe. We witnessed what we saw. It's just the most recent case yesterday. Riza Balaga.
And you know, the funny thing is, we saw that guy on the bench. We saw him come out of the bench for purposes of what? A penalty. And we saw the penalties went...
You just say, he only had one
You only
job.
had one
You
job.
Had one job.
Just do not...
Kepa, Riza Balaga.
Don't screw up. This is just your only opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he went there, and it was a complete gaffe. I mean, how do you miss the... I mean, I can forgive you, Cedric, if you go take a penalty and you hit the target and you miss. You know it's 50-50. But you sky that thing like a balloon.
But again, he's not a penalty taker. That's not supposed to be part of his JD.
No, Cedric, no. Don't give him... don't excuse Kepa. You're worsening the situation for Chelsea fans. The thing is, even goalkeepers are supposed to train because it can get to that situation. So
And
you have
it got to that
Yeah,
situation
look at the
yesterday.
Liverpool keeper, an unknown guy. Alisson didn't play yesterday. We don't know who that goalkeeper is, but he absolutely
He
schooled
stood up
Kepa
for the team.
Yeah.
And there's actually a certain picture over there, because the picture that you're just seeing is a picture of the impression that Mendy, the best keeper in Africa, as the Chelsea fans say.
Yeah.
This was his expression. Now I don't know what was running into his mind.
Yes,
Tuchel, what were you doing?
This
Why
guy,
did
how
you
dare you? Mendy should have stayed. Mendy would have saved 1 or 2 penalties, I tell you for sure.
Mendy should have saved.
He would have saved
those
I
penalties.
can guarantee you.
Now, let's just talk about Kepa's career, because there is another keeper. Is it Karius? We saw
Loris
Karius,
Karius.
what he did
Yeah.
in the Champions League.
Finals against
And
Real.
I must say that the Liverpool players lost some hope in him to an extent that they had just to do away with him. And we are looking at Riza Balaga. Newcastle United has actually showed interest in him.
Yes,
what
that's
are we
true.
saying now?
Now, I think for Kepa, in fact, the writing was on the wall. The moment Mendy was bought, Chelsea bought Riza Balaga for 70 million. And he has not... I mean, you see, as a goalkeeper, just like our situation with Arsenal, yeah? Leno...
No, I'm not an Arsenal guy. I don't know why you're saying our situation.
I have a problem with
No,
you.
just say your
Why you
situation.
escaped Arsenal?
No,
I don't
didn't
understand.
escape Arsenal. I've never been part of Arsenal.
What-
I don't know
what
what
team
you're
have
saying
you-
about
what team have
Arsenal.
you been
I'm
supporting?
a Manchester United fan.
You're lucky you invited me. Otherwise, I would have walked out of here. But it's okay. But you see, with Chelsea, Riza Balaga, the writing was on the wall. The moment Mendy came, Mendy's just better. He does it. As a goalkeeper, the one thing you can't do, Cedric, is you cannot make mistakes. Kepa makes mistakes. I think maybe just go back to Spain if the worst comes to the worst, or try Newcastle United or something like that. Because for Chelsea, he's not going to start. That's over. Forget about it. The fans will never forgive him for that mistake he did yesterday. It's done.
So it's done for him.
It's done for
so
him,
the
Chelsea.
best solution is just sell the guy.
Yeah, because for him, he has to leave. You don't wait for Chelsea to sell you. You have to hand in a transfer request, say you want to leave for your own career's sake. Same thing with Loris Karius. By the time you make those mistakes, there's no way. And the confidence, you see the thing with a goalkeeper also, it's the confidence. Once the confidence is affected, every time you're in goal, those small mistakes can happen every time because your confidence is always shaken. Yeah.
And now, before we actually wrap up this particular discussion, there's this particular picture showing a certain point where people are watching football. Just look at it. People are watching football. A lot of guys. This is a local. And one guy mentioned that it is only at this particular point that you will hear somebody say that he will just be personal.
Yeah.
You know, I know your father. When you stand talking in this particular photo, you've watched football in those points.
Yeah, of course.
And this was what Manchester United fans felt yesterday, because I even saw Manchester United fans, all of them posting that you will never walk alone. There is hatred between Man U and Chelsea. I don't know. I even hate them. I'm wondering why I hate these Chelsea people.
I'm
I don't even feel sorry
Do you
for
know
them.
it's the same thing also when we do the show? A lot of Chelsea guys hate Man U, and Man U guys. I thought that disrespect was between Arsenal and Man U. Now all of a sudden we are friends.
Chelsea.
Oh yeah, Chelsea.
Because of Chelsea.
But Chelsea.
One common enemy.
Chelsea wako na kiburi mingi sana.
Wako na
You know
kiburi sana.
they tell you if you call them Chelsea, no. Please call us champions of world clubs.
What's that saying? The friend of my enemy
Is the friend of my enemy is my enemy.
is my
as well.
enemy. So Chelsea, you are our enemy. Of course, speaking about enemy, there is what is happening in Ukraine and of course Russia. And as sportsmen, we do not advocate for such kind of things. And just to state about the sanction that was issued upon Russia by FIFA yesterday is that Russia will have to play all their matches on neutral grounds. That is what? Without a flag, without a national anthem, and without fans. I think it's fair to me. FIFA, kudos, good job over there. And now, because time is not on our side, Mike,
Yeah.
I give you the opportunity. The floor is yours. Tell these guys where they should find you. Before I tell them where, they will find us now, from
Okay.
now on.
Yeah, for me, you can find me across all social media platforms. Michael Indeku with a K. I've loved the experience here. It's amazing. You guys are doing a great job. You're doing a great job. Proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, let's connect there, and also Radio Jumbo.
Reggae, tell them about
Sport
reggae.
in a reggae,
It's
yeah.
sport in a reggae. I
Yeah.
love the way the magic comes in. You
Yeah.
know, as usual, we say sports is entertainment.
Exactly. So Sport in a Reggae comes every Sunday from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. But you can also find me overnight from 12 midnight till 5 a.m. every weekday. Then on Saturdays, 3 to 4 p.m. 3 to 7 p.m. Sports Rap. Yeah.
Okay, now, nothing serious about this stuff, because sports is all about entertainment now. That wraps up our today's episode 1. Thank you for being part of this amazing airing. Remember, you can get us via our social media platforms, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Switch TV KE, and we'll be telling you more in regards to that. Not forgetting, you can get me through my social media handles, Oronje Kusimba, across all social media platforms. But for now, I say a big good night and thank you for being part of this wonderful airing. My name is Oronje Kusimba. Lights out.